Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and today on Food That Really Schmecks, it's page 57, butter fried chicken with milk gravy. Now, before everybody gets all freaked out saying butter fried chicken in milk gravy, you're going to kill your husband, the woman who wrote this book lived to be 101 years old. So there. Okay, first things first, we've got my cast iron pot here, and it has water in it, and it has been brought up to a boil, and it is salted water. So I put about a teaspoon of salt. Now, this is a recipe for cut up chicken, but I don't have any. All I have are these drumsticks, so that's what we're going to use. Now we're going to put these apparently in the salted boiling water, skin side up. That's if you were using pieces. And we're just going to simmer this until tender. Now our chicken's almost ready for frying. And I've put 1/3 pound of butter in my skillet, and I'm going to melt that, and we will be back. And you're going to need some milk and some flour. Now, while our butter is melting, we're going to want to get it sizzling. I'm just going to really carefully. Now, I can't stress enough that apparently we want the skin left on here, so that's why they got to be simmered really low. Now there's not skin on all of this, and of course I didn't do an entire chicken, I just did some legs, so my gravy may not be all that grand, but we will see. Now we're going to put this aside while our butter melts, and we're going to let this simmer down to just a couple of cups of liquid. Okay, so now we're going to take our tender pieces of chicken, and we're just going to put these, I'm going to turn this pan down now, into the sizzling hot melted butter. And we're going to just continue to turn these carefully while they fry until all is crispy and golden. Now, as a side note, it just dawned on me while I was editing this. I was confused at first as to why they would cut up a chicken and simmer it and then fry it. And it dawned on me that most households back then, we're talking anywhere from the early 1900s to the 1950s, didn't keep anything but a few laying hens. Okay, chicken wasn't really raised for meat, it was raised for eggs. Chicken was a byproduct of the egg industry. So when you did kill one of the old laying hens, it was tough. You had to simmer it before cooking it and frying it. Makes total sense now, doesn't it? Now while they're cooking, we are going to make, just hope I don't melt my tripod here. We're going to make our milk gravy. Now here's what's left of the broth. Now remember, this was just salted water, and because I didn't use a whole chicken, there's going to be less flavor, but we're going to add, a cup of milk. And I'm going to pour some milk into a couple of tablespoons of flour. I'm just going to make this into a kind of a paste while we bring our milk and our broth up to boil. We're going to very carefully, see how that's crisping up nicely? We're going to very carefully turn our chicken over to continue crisping up on the outside. Now, this is an old recipe, and all I can think of is the reason this is made this way is because back in the day, when you did a hen up, an old fat hen, they're usually tough as all bejesus, and that's why you would stew it first. So that makes sense to me. All right, on with the gravy. Here is, whoops, getting it all over myself. The flour milk mixture, and I'm just going to pour this through my fork, and I should have strained it, I guess. And we're just going to whisk this until it's nice and thick. And you know what I'm going to do? Because of this being not a whole chicken, I'm going to actually pour some of our frying butter in there and give it a little bit more flavor. And there is the gravy. Now this is butter fried chicken in milk gravy.
Very tasty. Awesome.
There you go. I just tried my butter fried chicken in milk gravy, and that sent my taste buds to heaven and my mind south. That was so good. That is food that really schmecks. Take care, God bless.